Hi guys, Lisa Laura here, and I'm back with another video. So it's another Storytime Saturday, and this video is about my imaginary world. I'm gonna explain that because that sounds a little weird, doesn't it? My imaginary world. Anyways, so when I was a kid, I had a really overactive imagination. Instead of having just like an imaginary friend, I had a whole imaginary family and imaginary world. Needless to say, that's probably why I became a writer, because I got a really overactive imagination. So it all started when I was 4. I had just started kindergarten. I was turning 5 in like a month though, so I started in September. My birthday was October. I went to a private school, so we started in September, not August. Anyways, so we started in September after Labor Day. That's when school started, after Labor Day. And so I was still 4. I was almost 5, but still 4. And I was very, very shy as a little kid. I was very, very shy. And I was too shy to ask any of the other kids to play with me. At this point, like I said, I was 4, 5 in a month, but still 4. I'd never been to preschool. This is my first time being away from my mom. Or like really being away from her. Because she didn't work outside the home. She was a stay-at-home mom, so I'd never really been like away from her. This is my first time away from her. I didn't go to preschool or anything like that. No preschool, no daycare. So I was too shy to ask any of the other kids to play. I didn't know any of the kids or to play with me. I didn't know any of the other kids. So I made up an imaginary younger sister because I had always wanted a younger sister. For some reason, even at 4 years old, I wanted a younger sister. So I made my younger sister. Her name was Erin. She was 2. I don't know why. Anyways, she was 2 years younger than I was at the time. So she was the one I started with first. And then at a certain, I think when I was around 6 years old, I became obsessed with twins, and I made up like a twin sister. So, and in my imaginary world, I had a different name. My name was Crystal. Like I said in my other video, okay, you're gonna hear in a later video about my name and how I never liked my name. So, like I said, I didn't, like you're gonna hear in a later video, I didn't like my name as a kid. I didn't really like my name, and at various different ages, I changed my name, or I would change my name. So when I was around 6, I wanted my name to be Crystal for like the longest time. Anyways, so my name was Crystal. My twin sister was Diamond. Don't ask. And I had an imaginary mom too, and which is weird because I have like the best mom. Or I'm probably biased, but anyways, I have like an amazing mom. So I don't know why I had an imaginary. I guess you can never really have an imaginary family without imaginary parents. So I had imaginary mom, imaginary dad, and all that stuff. I also had a lot of imaginary siblings. Keep in mind, I only have 3 older siblings in real life. But in my imaginary world, I had like a bunch of younger siblings, like at least 10 younger siblings and 10 older. So I was somewhere like me and my imaginary twin sister were somewhere in the middle. So like I had older siblings and younger siblings because like I said, I wanted younger siblings. So it was about I had like about 20 imaginary siblings for some weird reason. I have no idea why. I just kept adding them. Anyways. But the thing was, so my parents divorced when I was about 5 years old. Obviously, my dad moved out. I lived with my mom most of the time. And so right around that time, I think, was when I kept on forgetting, when I forgot my imaginary father's real name. I still to this day don't remember what the first one's name was. It could have been Peter or David or Steve or something. I have no idea. I don't remember what I named any. I went through 3 of them. I don't remember what I named any of them. So when I forgot his name, most kids would just change the name, right? Makes sense. No, I didn't change the name. I killed him off and just bring in a new guy. It's like, what? Keep in mind, when my parents divorced, my mom never dated. There was no guys coming in and out of the house or anything. My mom never dated after she divorced my dad. I didn't have a stepdad or anything. So I don't know where I came up with this guy, where I came up with this from. Like I said, overactive imagination. So I forgot the first guy's name because I would kind of just like forget about him because I didn't like. I guess because my dad didn't live in the home anymore, so I would like kind of forget about the imaginary dad. Like forget to interact with him. I usually only interact with either my imaginary siblings or my imaginary mother. And her name was Esmeralda, and I named her when I was 4, and I have no idea where I came up with the name Esmeralda. we didn't know anyone named Esmeralda, so I don't know where I got that name from at 4 years old. I'd never heard the name before. Anyways, so this was the point. But yeah, so I killed off that guy, the first imaginary dad, and then just brought in a new guy. Eventually I forgot that guy's name. You see where I'm going, yeah. Killed off that guy, brought in a new guy. Eventually I forgot that guy's name too, and then I killed him off and just decided, you know what, no more imaginary dad. It's fine. So after the third guy, after I forgot the third guy's name, I was just throwing the towel. I was just like, we don't need him. He's not important. Don't need him. It's a little weird. My theory about that though, now having taken some psychology classes, is that my dad wasn't a perfect dad. Obviously, I mean, anyways, there's reasons why my parents divorced, and I have a story about that I'm gonna share in another video. But so my theory is that I was trying to create a perfect dad, and I don't know what the forgetting of the name had to do with any of it, but I guess maybe somehow, like, I was trying to create the perfect dad, and he wasn't I don't know how an imaginary father can't live up to some little kid standards of what a perfect dad is. Anyways, my dad, and so that's my theory. So my theory is that maybe I was trying to create a perfect dad, or maybe when my dad didn't meet the expectations that I was expecting him to, even as a little kid, I would subconsciously forget my imaginary father's name and then kill him off to try to make a new one, thinking that making a new one would somehow change my dad. I don't know. Maybe that sounds a little too deep. That sounds a little too deep because I was saying that out loud. I think I just complicated things a little bit and confused myself. Anyways, so, but one of my favorite things about my imaginary world is my imaginary house. Well, I have another thing too. My imaginary house was 7 stories. And at some point, I want to make this house a reality because this thing was awesome. Little kid's imagination is awesome. So this house had stairs and an elevator. So you go elevator. But then there was also a ramp for some reason. I don't know how wide the hallways were or why we had a ramp. Anyways, so there's also a ramp like on the same side as the stairs. It's like half stairs, half ramp kind of thing. But then there's also a slide going down from each floor. On each floor there's a slide going to the next floor. You see where I'm going. I also had a lot of imaginary animals because my mom didn't let me have a pet when I was a kid. So I didn't have a dog and we couldn't have a cat. My mom's allergic to cats. So I didn't have a dog or any kind of pet or anything. So I made imaginary pets. I had like 2 dogs. One was Princess, one was Prince. 2 dogs, boy and girl. And then at some point I had the dogs have puppies. I don't even remember why I did that. Anyways, we also had 2 fish, 2 parrots for some reason. There was like 3 horses for some weird reason too. What else? There was I think I had a couple of guinea pigs. Imaginary guinea pigs. Again, I have no idea where all this came from, how I was fitting all this. Like, my imaginary mother has 21 children and she's got all these pets. It's like, what? I think what it was each kid had their own pet or something, but why would you want each child to have their own pet when you got like 21 children? Anyways, I was kind of an insane child. And then also in my real life, my house, there was a vacant lot next to our house, a big vacant lot. Nothing was ever built there. Nothing was ever put there. It was vacant my entire life. And it's still vacant to this day, actually. I don't live in that house anymore, but I still live kind of in the area, but that lot is still vacant to this day. Anyways, so in my imaginary world, my house, and then there was a vacant lot, but it was like about 4 times the size of the vacant lot next to my real house. I mean, we had land all around us because we have all those animals and stuff. So, vacant lot, but there's in one corner, in one section of the big empty vacant lot, there was a fence between it and stuff. There's a vacant lot, and then there's a giant, never-ending book. I don't know why it's giant. Don't know why it's never-ending. Well, I do know why it's never-ending. I'm going to explain that, actually. So, my story behind it, I actually wrote kind of like a short story about this. my story behind it is that there was an evil wizard. I don't know. There's magic in my imaginary world too for some reason. My mom Esmeralda was at one point the most powerful witch or powerful wizard in my imaginary world. Anyways, I don't know why. So yeah, so there was a evil wizard who wanted to get back at Esmeralda, my imaginary mother, for something. I don't remember what. Anyways, so he puts a giant book in this vacant lot and like enchants it. So like every time you turn a page, it just another page. Every time you read and turn a page, another page magically appears in the back of the book. So this book just never ends. Nobody knows like how it ends or anything. Nobody's ever found the end of this book. Anyways, and nobody's figured out a way to remove it either. This book is just it's been there for like it's been there. It's just been there for like decades. It's never been able to be removed. People can't remove it, and they don't know how to remove it. Nobody knows how to remove this book. There's a myth about it, is that the only person who can remove it is the person who put it there, the evil wizard. But nobody's ever going to be able to. No one's ever been able to convince him to get rid of it because he doesn't want to. So yeah. So those are my two favorite things: the house and this big, never-ending book. I just love to imagine that in my head. It's like a giant, like 10-foot span book, like this, about 10 feet long, that way. And you just turn, every time you turn a page, the back of the book glows and another page is just magically appearing. I wonder how that would end. Never quite figured that one out. It's kind of a cool thing though. Anyways, this is probably a really long video. So thank you guys for watching, for your patience. Hope you all have a blessed day. Love you all.